good, y'all? It's your boy Ant Mula from Mula Visions, man. We locked in with the Hood Journal, man.
Know the way they hit, I'm living dripping from the floor up. Nothing tried to wave, but still a man, they know I had to grow up. These people steady come around, they feel I'm finna blow up. Told that bitch I rap the shit and now she tryna give a thought up.
Welcome to the Hood Journal podcast. I'm here with my son Ant, bro. I'd like to give my guests their flowers of appreciation before I start off every interview. So Ant, appreciate you for showing me love on the platform. Well, I know whenever you get the chance, you share like the shit that I be posting. You be showing me love, texting me, telling me how proud you are of me. I see you working, always promoting the clothing brand, always promoting yourself. I appreciate your work ethic. We had a great conversation before we got on camera, but I'm ready to get this conversation going with get us to know more about you and the brand.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
So, first question I want to get into. Talk to me a little bit about your upbringing. Talk to me about the neighborhood you grew up in, family and friends you grew up with, shit like that.
Well, for sure. I was born in the Bronx, you feel me? I was raised in co-op, for real, until I was about like maybe 5, you feel me? Then I moved down to Harlem, moved to the east side, you feel me?
Oh, man.
You know, going to schools. I wasn't in the same stable school from like 1st to 8th, you feel me? I was in like maybe 4 or 5 different schools, you feel me? So I know a lot of people, you feel me? That's what goes into it, for real.
Right.
But, you know, my mom, she raised me by herself mainly, you feel me? I still have my pops, you know, I love my pops, you know, all that. But my mom, she really instilled in me, you know, the will and the drive to do the things that I want to do.
Right.
And never to settle for nothing less, you feel me? So, yeah, for real.
That's a fact. How important was her being a part of your life and her instilling all those values that you're using today?
I mean, it was very important, you feel me? She told me things that, you know, maybe other people couldn't, you feel me? And she did the best she could without having a male in the house, you feel me, for so many years. You feel me? I got my step-pops now, but, you know, all them years, you know, she did it by herself, for real. Like God gave her the will to do it, you feel me? So, you know, she told me different things. You know, she did the best she could. She can't do everything, you feel me?
Right.
She did the best she could, you feel me? Told me how to treat women, for real, you feel me?
There you go.
So, all that, man, you feel me?
So that's why all the girls love Ant.
Of course, man. Come on, man. She told me the best. I learned from the best, man. Come on.
Say that. So if I'm not mistaken, you said you moved to Harlem at 5?
Yeah.
Got you. You've been here for a minute. What's it like growing up in Harlem? I feel like Harlem is a place with a lot of history, a lot of this where niggas get the money at. This where the fly niggas be. What was it like growing up in Harlem?
Well, growing up in Harlem, for real, it was different. You feel me? Like Harlem back then is different, way different than it is right now. You feel me? But I feel like, you know, I gained my style, my sense of fashion. You feel me? From Harlem, just seeing a lot of people with different, you know, styles and all that, and just taking little bits and pieces from each and everybody and putting it in my own style. You feel me? So, you know, I say that. But otherwise, like, you know, just help you be alert. You feel me?
That's
like growing up in Harlem, compared to other places, you know, help you be alert. You gotta be on go.
So always busy,
making sure everything's straight. You feel me? So I say that for real.
Just to be clear, when did you? How long did you live in the East Side for?
Well, I'm since I moved down there, and then I moved over here 2011. So
okay. So you was there for like 5 years?
Yeah.
Kind of. So I only ask niggas from Harlem is what's the biggest difference between East Harlem and West Side Harlem?
The biggest difference from East Harlem and West Harlem, I ain't gonna lie, I say it's more places to shop, for real. I say that.
That's a fact.
Especially somebody like me who like clothes and all that. Like I definitely say that. Like everybody always comes to the West to come shop. Like you ain't really gonna find nothing on the East unless you really downtown.
That's a fact.
It's like people wasn't going downtown, for real. So like, I mean, well, I wasn't. So I say, you know, the differences in like, you know, stores and stuff like that. I probably say that, and the culture. You feel me? Just the people, like, you know, people different from each and every part. So I say, you know, West, you know, I say it like that. That's what I would say.
Say that. So I think it's a perfect segue because you brought up, you know, that West Side Harlem is a great place to shop, look for clothing. Talk to me a little bit about your early memories with fashion. What were you wearing? When were you introduced to, okay, this is like clothing, fashion that I want to rock, this is how I want to present myself? What were your early memories with fashion?
From what I can remember, I always been fly. Like,
out the womb.
Yeah, out the womb.
Okay,
like,
indeed.
I ain't even try to be cocky, like, but I'm just looking back at my pictures and all that. Like, I was always fly. You feel me? My pops, my grandparents, They always made sure I was fly, you feel me? So, you know, I feel like they instilled that into me, like when I was young, you feel me? And then, you know, of course, it was always that period where, you know, kids don't really care about what they wearing,
Right.
you feel me? But, you know, messing up their shoes, not really caring about it for real. But then I got to a point where I was like, I gotta chill, like, you feel me? And then I transitioned from, you know, working with shoes, you feel me? I used to paint shoes, you know, like fix up shoes like that, you know, and then that's what really made me fall in love with shoes.
Okay.
And from shoes, you know, I'm always gonna have a love for shoes, but it turned into clothing, you feel me? And I was like, I could really do something with it.
Right.
And then, you know, quarantine came, you know, everybody was sitting at the crib not doing nothing, and then it just came to me for real. Like I was just like, I could really start a clothing brand for real. And it was like, it was just a thought for real, you know.
Right.
And then I actually thought about it more, and then started learning about it more, and then I put out my first drop. You know, it did well. It did better than I expected. You feel me? And then ever since then, I just been building up on what I started. You feel me? So that's.
Gotcha. You gave us a little time on. Before we get to that, I want to know, what is your definition of being fly? Like, what does Ant think that being fly means? Like, you have to do this, and that to be considered fly in Ant's words.
I mean, everybody's definition of fly is different, but my definition of fly, I feel like when you just, it's confidence. I feel like it comes with confidence, you feel me? Like, if you got the confidence to know that you fly, like, that's it. That's all you really need for real confidence. Right. Like, if you got the confidence to say, like, all right, I'm putting this on, I'm putting this together, I'm putting this together, I'm putting this together, like, and then you actually do it, like, it shouldn't matter what nobody else think about, you feel me? It's about you, you feel me? So it's like, it really just depends on the person for real.
You're basically saying it's not about what you wear, it's about how you wear it, how you rock it.
How you put it together, you feel me?
Right.
Say it like that.
And then you brought up how, feel me, before you really got into clothing, you really focused on shoes. Like, what shoes were you designing? What kind of, like, what made you want to make shoes your first canvas in terms of designing?
I'd probably say, like, you know, the Nike basketball era, you feel me? Because that's the time where I was, you know, getting to like a teenager for real. You know, everybody was hyped over the KDs.
I remember those days.
Right,
all the colorful ones, right?
You feel me? So I was just, and like I would see on like Instagram and stuff like that, like, you know, players writing stuff on the shoes. And
Nike
stuff.
ID?
Yeah,
I remember that shit.
Stuff like that. So, you know, that really motivated me a little bit to be like, all right, what can I do for me to make my joint stand out for real? It's like, you know, one time I took a pair of LeBron 11s. And like, I painted them all gold, you feel me? I ain't wear them, but you feel me, it was something I could be proud of. I'd be like,
why you didn't wear it?
Cause it's like, one, I didn't really know how to do it for real, you know?
Okay.
So I didn't really want to mess it up. And it's like, I created it, so I was just like, all right, this is my joint, I'm gonna preserve it, you feel me?
Makes sense.
Yeah, like that. So I'd probably say like, you know, the Nike basketball era for real. Jordans, of course, I always been wearing Jordans since I was a kid, you feel me? And, you know, then, you know, growing up from there on, like, you get into the designer and stuff like that. And it's like now, you know, I've been turned off from the designer a little bit, you feel me? Because, you know, growing up in Harlem, you see everybody with a designer, you feel me? So it's like, you know, I always want to be different.
Right.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Like that.
And then you brought up, feel me, the beginning of the pandemic that led you into, feel me, having a confidence wanting to start the clothing brand. But I want to know, like, what was the beginning of the pandemic like for you, like, life-wise? Like, feel me, you're a junior at that time, right? So it's like, what is it like? Okay, one day you ask school, the next day, oh, I don't know when I'm going back to school. What was that whole period like before you decided to create the clothing brand?
Nah, it was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, cause I remember it was crazy. Cause like the last day I was in school, I had detention that day.
Come on,
like,
man.
I was like, dang. So then, like, we all walking out the building. They like, yo, y'all can go home. I'm like, word, I ain't got no detention, right? So I get to the crib, and then I see on the news, it's like, school shut down for like a month or something like that. I'm like, word, like, we chilling, like, I ain't gotta go to school.
Right.
Then month turned into the rest of the year. I'm like, oh, nah, like, what's going on? Like, feel me? Everybody's saying, like, oh, this pandemic is nothing. Like, this is gonna blow over a couple weeks.
I thought that too.
You feel me? Then, look, I'm sitting at home, not doing nothing.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's how it turned out for me. You feel me? And then I was just thinking about some different stuff. I started my YouTube in quarantine. You feel me? I'm about to get back on that. You feel me?
Please. Need that.
So, yeah, I mean, I say it like that.
Gotcha. So you started your clothing brand, you started YouTube in quarantine. What were those early, I guess, pieces like? Like, what were those early designs, early creations like?
Well, they were simple for real, cause like I said, I'm not the most creative person. You feel me? But I'm a little creative. I'll say that. So it was really something simple, like, you know, just throwing a logo on a shirt, throwing some inspirational words. You feel me? And as far as the inspirational words, I keep going with it like to this day. Like even though I got different outlets where I could go get designs from, different stuff like that. I still want to incorporate like different inspirational stuff, for people to continue to keep going with what they're doing. You feel me?
Right.
I want people to know like whatever you feel like you want to achieve, whatever you feel like you can achieve, go ahead and do it. Don't let nobody else tell you different. So I always want to incorporate, some inspirational words of motivation for people and incorporate it with my clothing. You feel me? So.
Mula Visions. Yeah. What's the meaning behind the name?
Alright, so the meaning behind the name, everybody asks me this question a lot.
Let's hear it.
So my favorite teacher, his name was Mr. Blackman. You feel me?
Okay.
He gave me the name Mula. I walked in the class, like everybody used to say I come to school, fly,
like he making a lot of moolah.
Yeah. So I just walked in class one day. He was like, "Yo, Mula." I'm like, "Word." Like that's I got a little ring to it. You feel me? So that stayed with me until quarantine, and then I just kept going with it. And then I'm like, what else can I do to add to this name for real? And I was just like, I got the vision to do bigger and better things. So I just put the two together.
Visions.
Mula Visions.
Say that.
Yeah.
When did you drop your first piece?
I dropped my first piece March of 2021.
How scared? Oh, March of 2021. Okay,
Yeah.
so talk to me about the period, I guess, where. So you say you made it during quarantine. So let's say this is April, May, June 2020.
Yeah.
And then you don't drop your first piece till March 2021. What's the reason behind that?
Well, I was like, it was a thought, like I said, you feel me? And I was just trying to get everything together, put all the different pieces together,
Make sure
and find out how to actually do it, you feel me? Because I'm still doing everything by myself, you feel me? Like packaging orders and stuff like that. So according to trying to get everything together, design-wise, even where to get shirts from, how to, get the machine to print out the stuff, all of that. It took a minute, I'm not gonna lie, and then to build the capital for all that. Like you need capital to start whatever business you do.
Right. You gotta have money to make money.
Yeah, you gotta spend money to make money. You feel me? So I had to build up some of that, build up my ideas, and then once I got to the point where I was able to do so, I just went ahead and did it, and then I just never turned back. Ever since then.
Right, you never turn back. Right, feel me? You've experienced success, but I want to know, and you let me know if I'm wrong or not. How nerve-wracking was that first drop in March 2021?
I'm telling you, it's nerve-wracking every drop. I'm not that nerve's never gonna go away because it's like you got expectations, but you don't know if you're gonna meet the expectations.
Right.
You feel me? And then you're looking at you're looking at the time of when you drop in. It's like you can see how many people was actually tuned in to your website.
Okay.
And it's like if your expectations is so high that it's like anything below that, you're gonna get discouraged. You feel me? So of course I was getting discouraged at the beginning. It's like, dang, I thought people, was really rocking with my joint, and I'm only getting 3 people on my website right now. You feel me? But it's like it's more than that. It's like it's on you for real. You're like, how are you marketing your stuff? How are you feel me, doing the things that you need to do to make sure your brand is one of the best it could be.
Right. Something that I'm seeing from you, something that I keep hearing is that, feel me, your brand is only as successful as the work you put into it. So I want to know. Let's start with the promotion. I see that you promote your brand on TikTok, on Instagram, on as many platforms as you can.
Yes,
talk to me about what goes into that. How do you go about promoting? How do you try to grab people's attention and be like, yo, I want to cop something from Mula Visions?
Well, consistency above everything. You feel me? If you're not consistent, nothing's gonna work. I'm just that's just what it is. If you're not consistent, people gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna tune in.
Bullshit.
Yeah, word. And of course, taking other inspiration from other people. You feel me? There's nothing wrong with it at all. You feel me? If especially if you're not one of the most creative people ever, take inspiration. Take as little inspiration as you can from each and everybody that you inspire. That inspires you to do what you want to do, and then incorporate it into what your whole game plan. Like if you see somebody that got a clothing brand and they're doing numbers, find something that you can take from them.
Right. There's a reason why they got numbers. So
it's resources out there to help you. Use them. Don't think, oh, people gonna think this. It shouldn't matter because at the end of the day, it's your brand.
Right.
How are you gonna build up your brand?
Put your own flair on it.
You feel me? Everybody got ideas, but not everybody has brand.
And even those people that are successful now, they probably got tidbits from other people that they according to their shit.
Of course.
Right. I feel like that's really why I rock with you. You know why? Because I did the same thing. I used to have my interviews. I used to be in the camera. Like one of my favorite interviewers, Peeves. He don't show his face.
Word.
And I was like, okay, let me try it out. I'm behind the camera. I feel more comfortable talking to you because I don't got the camera on my face. I don't even like being on camera.
I feel you.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, inspiration. Find any inspiration you can for real.
That's
Like if you can find any inspiration that's gonna help you, give you motivation, give you drive to go ahead and do what you gotta do, then why not use it?
That's fact.
I mean, like. Yeah.
So your first drop was in March of 2021. What was 2021 like for you, like for the brand? What was 2021 and early 2022? What success, what highs, lows? What was the 2021 like for Mula Visions?
Well, the 2021, you feel me? Like I said, I just started, so it was slow, and I was just trying to keep myself motivated any way I could have. You feel me? Because like I said, the discouragement creeps in. You feel me? Like the thoughts is like, am I really good at this? Can I really make a brand? A 6-figure brand, scale my brand to how I want it to be. And it's like you gotta like talk over them voices. Like you feel me? You know what you set out to do.
Right.
So go ahead and do it. You feel me? So it was slow, and then like I said, I'm learning each and every day. Like there's still stuff I don't know. You feel me? So I'm just trying to build up and learn as much as I can.
I want to ask you a question. I'm not gonna ask you how hard it is to own a clothing brand. I want to ask you how hard is it to own a black-owned business?
I mean, I say it's not that. It's hard, but it's not that hard. You feel me? As long as you got good people in your circle, you feel me? People that's gonna support you. That's all you need. And consistency and the people that support you. That's what you need. You don't need nothing else. That's what you need.
All right, but this next question, let me know if I'm wrong or not. I noticed that, like I said, let me know if I'm wrong or not. I think around early 2022, you went on a little mini hiatus where you wasn't really dropping. And then just let me know. And then you finally dropped again in April 30th. Let me know how long was the hiatus for, the reason behind it, what were you working on there in that time period? Talk to me.
I took a hiatus to focus on myself, you feel me? Because I can't run a business if I'm not 100% with myself, mental-wise, you feel me? And of course, I was in school also, you feel me? I'm in college, so, I had to make sure my work was straight, you feel me? And it wasn't straight at the time, so I had to make sure I get everything straight, you feel me? And then, on top of that, get my mental right, you feel me? Because if your mental not right,
you can't do anything.
Right, so that was really, the basis behind the whole hiatus. Cool. But I was still, learning looking at different ways, finding manufacturers, stuff like that, to try to build my brand, even while I'm in hiatus, you feel me? So I can come back stronger than ever. For me, that's always the, that's always the goal, to come back better than you were before. So.
Right. As you should. And then, feel me, you come back April 30th, talk to me about what that drop was like, feel me, what the relief you got to be done from the hiatus, and then just now we created new goals. Now, okay, it's 2022. 2021 was a start, 2022 is, all right, how do we build from here? Talk to me about what life is like post-hiatus.
Post-hiatus is great because I once I dropped my first drop after my hiatus, I felt like I was at a better position for me to be able to run a business. You feel me? I was clear-minded. I had different new information to help me. So on top of that, like I was just motivated. I was more motivated than I ever been.
Right.
Maybe not like now. Like now, I'm ready to just drop. But I know I can't. You feel me? Because there's certain ways you got to do stuff.
That's fair.
But motivation. I was motivated to do everything and anything to make sure my brand was at the tip top. You feel me? So, yeah.
Say that. Talk to me a little bit about your most important. Well, maybe let's say your most popular, your most important pieces, most important collections. What are some staples in Mula Visions clothing brand history?
Well, the shirts that we just dropped, the names are Triumph, and I forget the last one. The last one I kind of just threw it together. But those pieces in particular, because like I said, that was my first drop after coming back from a hiatus. I was more motivated than ever. You feel me? So those pieces in particular, like they always gonna stick with me because it's like those were the pieces that was like, all right, you really in this now. Like, go ahead and do it.
You're here to stay.
Yeah. So and of course the stuff that we got coming up. We got a collection coming up in July. You feel me?
There we go.
So yeah, I can't say too much. You feel me? But it's coming soon.
Just know that we outside.
Yes, sir.
So you spoke a little bit about it in the last answer about your mental not being where you think it needed it to be.
Yeah.
I like to ask all my guests this question to get a scope of how they feeling. But talk to me about now. We in May. How's your mental health?
My mental health great. Like I'm back home. I'm in New York now. You feel me? I get to see the people I love that I haven't got to see for the last couple months. You feel me? And now I got free range to work on my brain as much as I want. You feel me? So we definitely got some stuff in the stash. You feel me? We gonna come harder than ever. You feel me?
Okay. Before I ask this question, the last question before we get into the quick hitters, what is your title? Are you a CEO? Are you a fashion designer? Are you a clothing designer? Are you all three? What is Ant Mula like? How does Ant Mula refer to himself?
The boss. I'm the boss. You feel me? I'm a businessman. You feel me? Like, cause I feel like fashion design that puts you in a box. You feel me? If you a boss, you got different outlets to everything. You feel me? So I don't never want to put myself in a box. I always want to be able to branch out to different stuff. Right. So I say Mula's the boss.
He make money in any industry.
Yes, sir.
Say that. So with that being said, what is your ultimate goals? Being the boss, being the businessman, what is your ultimate goals with Mula? What are your ultimate goals with Mula Vision? What is your goals with the clothing brand, with your other business endeavors? What do you hope to accomplish?
Just to make it the biggest I can. You feel me? Like not let nothing get in my way. And be able to say like, alright, I built this brand from the ground up and inspire other people to build their own brand. You feel me? And to like, just achieve their dreams. I just want people who see me working to work harder. You feel me?
Right. Okay.
And build up whatever they decide to be. Whether it be with music, whether it be with a podcast, or whether it be with their own clothing brand. You feel me? Just to take inspiration from me and say that, I seen this. I seen Mula Visions and it inspired me to become better. You feel me? That's all I really want. And on top of that, make it a better life for me and my family. You feel me? Like, I was never the type to struggle, but my mom didn't always have it like that. You feel me? And I wanted to get to the point where it's like she always got it like that. She don't ever got to worry about nothing else. You feel me? Don't have to work another day in my life. And once I get to that point, then I say I made it. And then even then, I still ain't make it. You feel me? You
can't stay content. You gotta keep on. You gotta stay hungry.
Gotta stay hungry. You feel me? Stay humble as well.
Let that go over your head. Say that. Well said, bro. Well said, Cam. That being said, we'll get into the quick hitters. A couple of fun, lighthearted questions I want to ask you to get the human side of you. Let's wait for this question first. First question I want to get into. It's a bucket list question. What's one thing you want to do that you haven't done yet?
One thing that's hard. I ain't gonna lie. Let me see. One thing I want to do that I haven't done yet. I'm going on vacation, man. I'm going on vacation, man.
Heard the simp. Where y'all going? Where y'all going?
Nah, I really want to just travel though. You feel me? I've traveled, but I haven't like traveled. You feel me? Okay. But I want to travel though, like Italy, stuff like that. Spread influence. You know what I mean? Say that.
Okay, say that. Next question. What are some of your fashion pet peeves?
Fashion, man, Nike and Adidas, man. You wear Nike and Adidas, bro. Man. Come on, you can't be around me, man. Come on.
No tech suit and Yeezys.
Nah, bro, come on. That joint, that blows my. I just not even gonna lie. Like, cause like, why you doing that, bro? Come on. And when people wear like too loud colors, like if they got like a whole yellow suit on, like, bro, why you looking like a banana, bro? Come on, like, come on, man. Do better, man.
Yeah,
I say that.
You know who we talking about? Nah, I'm playing. You know who you are.
Yeah, come on, man. Do better.
Got it. What are some of your What are some of your favorite clothing brands to wear?
Off-White. Okay. Virgil was a big influence for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Talk about his influence. R.P. Virgil.
R.P. Virgil, man. Just seeing the inspiration that he had to help other people. You feel me? That just resonated with me a different type of way. Tough. So and when he passed, it was just like, come on, man. Like that's one of the legends. You feel me? So and especially when he's doing post his life. You feel me? With the Nike and the Louis, you feel me? Like it's crazy. Man.
Yeah, so much just you're just getting started.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Off-White. Anything else?
Rich Loader brand. You feel me?
What's that about?
Hey man, Rich Loader brand. That's one of my guys from my school, my campus. I mean, he got one of the hardest clothing brands out. I mean, that's one of my best. Rich Loader brand for sure. I tap in with him, man. You feel me?
Fire.
Rich Loader brand. Nike, of course. You know, I like the underrated stuff, like Kid Super Studios. That stuff too.
Okay.
You feel me? So yeah, that's just a little bit.
Say that. What are your favorite pair of Jordans?
Favorite pair of Jordans? It's underrated though. I'll probably say the twos. The twos are my favorite.
Those are underrated.
Not everybody like the twos. You feel me? I love the twos.
That's
Twos. I'd probably say like the threes. Twos and threes. That's probably my favorites. Yeah.
I never owned a pair. I like the fours.
Yeah.
A pair that I've owned that I felt underrated. I like the 14s a lot.
14s is tough.
14s
is very tough. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Who's on your music Mount Rushmore? That's your
Rushmore?
4 favorite artists of all time. And honorable mentions. Now, I don't want the 4 best. I want your 4 favorite.
4 favorite. Alright. No honorable mentions?
No, and honorable mentions, but I want to hear who makes the top 4 first, and then
top 4. Biggie.
Okay.
Jay-Z. Lil Wayne. And can I throw somebody in there like right now?
Yeah.
Baby.
The Baby or Lil Baby?
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I pray to God he don't get locked up.
Bro, they lock everybody up.
Fine.
I'm telling you.
Oh, sorry. Keep John his phone. Yeah, so. No, you come. Oh, you coming outside? Yeah.
Elevated stuff.
Say that. That's the top 4. Okay, so you said Lil Baby, Biggie, Pac, Jay-Z.
Lil Baby, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Lil Wayne.
Oh, I'm bugging.
Yeah.
So sorry. Who are the honorable mentions?
Honorable mention, Corday.
Oh, okay.
Who else? It's hard.
That's all good.
It's hard, man. Probably say like, I don't know. I probably just say Corday. Cole.
J. Cole?
Yeah,
Tough.
J. Cole.
Tough.
Yeah, I'd probably say the last one probably like I don't even know, man. I'd probably say Cole and Corday.
There's some tough names that you mentioned. I ain't gonna lie. Your most memorable customer interaction.
Most memorable customer interaction, I'd probably say my boy Ronald.
Okay.
You know, he always showed love from the beginning. You feel me? You know, so we just met up. You feel me? And then it was just like, transactions like that. But it wasn't he wasn't just a customer. You feel me? It was more like we locked in type. You feel me? So it's more so like that. And I probably say another one like going back to my man Noah from Rich Loader. You know, I was scrolling on his website, just to cop some merch and support. And I actually got an order from him, right, while I was, ordering.
Oh, so he was copying from you while you was trying to copy from him.
You feel me?
That's love.
That's love. I was just like, wow, that's so crazy, bro.
That's tough.
You feel me? So I'll probably say that.
Soon wrap up. Got a couple more questions left. If you could have dinner with any 5 people dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Kevin Hart.
Tough.
I feel like he's not just funny, but you can learn a lot from him. Corday is another one. Who else? Probably say like Virgil. Virgil's another one.
Virgil, Kevin Hart, Corday. We got a solid first 3.
Who else? Jeff Bezos, man. I didn't talk to him about giving
You want to talk to the money man?
I want to talk to the money man. You feel me? And the last one, I'll probably say like Ralph Lauren.
Okay, tough.
Yeah.
Fuck with that.
Ralph Lauren for sure.
I think the most important part of the question is what's on the menu for that dinner?
On the menu?
Yeah, what y'all eating at that table?
I need some steak. Some steak, some mashed potatoes, string beans, feel me? Nothing too crazy,
How you like your steak cooked?
Oh, I need my drink well done. No pink in my steak, feel me?
Right.
No pink in steak.
Yeah, okay, man. Who do you want to see next on the Her Journal podcast?
Who I want to sit next to?
No, who do you want to see next on the podcast?
Oh, see next? I want to see my man Noah, Rich Loader brand. Mr. Don't Touch That, you feel me? Get him on there too. You get my man on there too, man.
If you know, you know.
You know, if you know, you know.
No,
You feel me?
what?
Who else? Yeah, that's probably all I can say right now.
Say that. That being said, I'm working in the interviews. This is a talking shit segment. Anyone you want to shout out, anything want to get off your chest? Record is 10 minutes. Tell the people what you want to hear.
Hey man, go shop Mula Visions, man. We got drop coming, collection coming, the reload July, man. Come support, come tune in, man. So.
Yes, sir. And thank you so much for the interview, for the conversation. Give me some great answers, great dialogue. I appreciate you showing love to the brand. I got a couple up soon. Make sure y'all continue to show him love, continue to cop for him. That's something going up.
Appreciate you, man, for coming out here and for me showing love too, man.
Yes, sir, of course. That's
Know the way they hit, I'm living dripping from the floor up. As I'm tired of way, but still a man, they know I had to grow up. These people steady come around, they feel I'm finna blow up. Told that bitch I rap this shit and now she tryna give a thought up. I say fuck it, I can't stress her. She know that I'm a blessing. Teach the game cause I got skills, I'm feeling just like the professor. Let him talk just like he bout it, we bringing out them stretches. She say shine just like a diamond, but it come from all this pressure. But I'm a diamond in the sky, I'm coming straight from outer space.